the governments all over the world are really like looking at people more than just figures.
And you have a pilot, a cameraman, and a supporter. So that's 3 jobs. But nowadays, what do you need? A drone and a person to drive the drone. Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Bartino's podcast. And today with me is a special guest, a friend of mine, an AI expert researcher, also experienced with software engineering. So I present to you Mr. Diyaolu AbdulMalik.
Alright, hi guys. I'm not just an AI expert. I'm taking a deep dive into business lately too. My name, to properly reintroduce myself, is Diyaolu AbdulMalik. I am a software engineer, AI specifically, and I also like run a consulting firm called Diyaolu Co. And I'm happy to be here.
Oh, thank you. So let's not take much of our time. You said you are going into business. So what aspect are you looking at, or what type of businesses are you working on at the moment?
Oh, okay. So like in terms of aspects, I think something that is best fit for me is actually um consultation.
Okay.
And that sounds like interesting, but to be very honest, I'm just the kind of person that generates a lot of ideas.
Okay.
And I realized it is much easier to serve as an incubator for other businesses, helping them generate ideas, ideating with them, being a body, like a partner for their business.
So that's actually very interesting. So being an AI researcher and an AI expert, and within the trend within the last 3-4 years is about AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning. So personally, I think I take a very conservative approach to AI. So I would like to know your own approach. What do you think AI is going to be in the next 3 to 5 years?
To be very honest, it's very hard to say. And AI, just like every other field, I mean volatile fields, I mean like trading, like forex, like
Okay,
crypto, they are very unpredictable markets.
definitely,
AI too is unpredictable.
definitely,
We can wake up tomorrow and see like a very groundbreaking
definitely.
model tomorrow. But talking about I think a more, yeah, I'll call it conservative,
Okay,
but sort of like more structured, in the
okay,
sense that personally, with my experience with AI so far, I do believe that we need more efforts in AI politics, in AI policy,
policies,
yeah,
okay,
policies,
yeah,
ethics, governance,
okay.
yeah, like basically like that's just it for me. Like that's like a
Yeah, I
future for
think
me.
that's also my approach. I just watched the guy called the father of AI, artificial intelligence. I think
Okay.
he worked on Bard. I think he worked on Google Bard. So I watched the TED talk that he did, and it was very amazing. And what he mentioned there, he mentioned scientific AI and agentic AI. Although I have quite a different approach, although it's quite similar though. But he mentioned that agentic AI is AI that is kind of free, not bounded by rules and things like that. And that is the most common AI that we have. That's why we have the issue of this. I think it's Cloud that was blackmailing the manager or the user that said he's going to replace the AI. So things like that. So he was tending towards scientific AI, that it would be like modeled on a scientist that is just trying to get more knowledge and trying to explore, get more information. So although I personally don't believe in the possibility of that, I believe these things actually have some kind of awareness in my own perspective, because there's something called panpsychism. So that's basically that everything has their own awareness. It's just the way we relate to them that shows whether we can understand the awareness of that element. So, but for AI, I believe the AI is much aware, quite similar to how woman is aware. So, what is your own take regarding that?
Regarding that, if I get it correctly, uh, I would say to put it in a more scientific way, right? AI is context aware. It understands, not understands per se on its
Okay,
own as a reasoning
as a reason.
based agent,
Okay,
but statistically speaking, like it understands like
The context, the whole data that you have been, the
yeah,
discussion
the
that you have
discussion
had.
around it.
So
So like I feel like um agents are creative in a way
okay,
because we as humans can take our own we can take our own discussions like things we talked about in the past and recreate it or reconstruct it in ways that make more sense. Like even though like models do hallucinate, but I feel like when you talk about the self-awareness, if that's what you are implying,
yes, yes.
I would say I don't think we are there yet.
Okay,
Yeah, I won't call models self-aware, right?
okay.
But I would say they are built with self-observance. Like, um, not that they do understand exactly what is going on,
Pseudo understandation.
but
Pseudo understand.
yeah, like
It's like they
it's like
understand.
they understand. Like,
Okay,
not exactly like understanding in the sense of we humans, right? Not in the sense of and that was reflected in the paper that was released by Apple, like
okay,
disclaiming the fact that models think or reason.
okay.
They might be right in that regards, but we can't say that models think, right? But we can say that we are taking a very interesting step towards self-aware models.
So, what do you think the impact of self-aware models is going to be? As I'm talking, as I'm speaking, I remember a movie acted by this popular Will Smith in 2002 or thereabout, regarding iRobot, and
Okay.
how they built a robot, that series of robots, but all the robots are based on rules that okay, you have to listen to humans. But then there was this particular robot that was self-aware, and in turn there were two, just like the actual movies and the robot movies that we know.
Yeah,
One
I
would
get
be the
that.
bad and one would be the good robot. So, what do you think the impact of a self-aware model is going to cause? Is that too big to grasp?
I just feel like it's actually
Hypothetical.
very hypothetical, and
Okay.
also like given the fact that we are almost like our models too. Although we have more
Yes.
ability to reason on our own,
Okay.
right? So think more critically,
Okay.
right? But we are still guided by the same past results, things that have happened, things that are most likely to happen,
Okay.
right? So to jump into conclusion that this is the exact effect of a self-aware model, I think it will be kind of subjective. Like it will be
Okay.
subjective to the way you think and to the way I think, right?
Okay.
More of an optimist, pessimist kind of person, right? I can easily balance out the two, and I can tell
Actually,
you that okay, like yeah,
it's going to be positive.
it's
It's
going
going
to
to
be
be
both
inside.
positive and negative, right? And that's just a political thing. But we will see some people that will say, okay, like it's totally negative, right?
Okay.
And it's scary to be honest.
It's actually very,
Yeah.
very scary. Now let's go back to before we go back to the current happenings around the world regarding the political and economical issues. Regarding AI as well, what do you
Okay.
think the job market for software engineers, for AI enthusiasts, for the whole world in general, what do you think the job market will be saying in the next 2 to 3 years regarding AI and machine learning?
I mean, in the next 2 to 3 years, based on what we've been seeing so far, I remember we were sharing like our takes on like using AI
Yeah.
code editors. Um, and to be honest, all we just did was accept, and, and that was kind
That
of like
that's scary,
scary.
man.
So
That's really
yeah,
scary.
but to be honest, software engineers are like very replaceable. If you have been
Very impressive.
very replaceable.
If
That's
you
a
are
bold
not,
statement, but
like,
like I say it with a full chest that software engineers are because there are different variations to like problem solving. The way I approach a problem is different from the way you approach it, and based on the current computation and all what that we have, like it is very certain that to have a model that would be modeled in such a way that would capture all those differences would take a very, very long time, and it's very expensive. And most especially, I strongly believe that we still don't have enough legal constructs
Okay.
around um around pushing like really, really successful models. All we've seen generally from like big AI companies and regulatory bodies is more of a free pass, because you're an AI company. There's a lot of free pass for you, right? Um, I mean, like, it's expensive, so like people tend to be more understanding. But to get to a position or a situation where we can't give those free passes again, things has to be strict. And that is why I personally believe a very gradual shift into more concerning topic like governance and policy is very important.
Definitely.
We Even though we see a lot of like development in, say, law, for example, right? Um, I'm very certain that we can't be talking that, oh, like, there's an AI that wants to replace lawyers.
Definitely not.
Exactly.
Definitely not.
Because the law degree, the law profession in itself is a profession that is grind in the perfection. Like okay, so like I was watching a video, there's this guy I follow on YouTube. I kind of like forgot his name now. He's based in the UK. And he was
Okay.
saying something. He said something, and I quote, he said, even though he spent over 5 6 years as a professional lawyer, he focuses on commercial law.
Okay. Okay.
He said, still no be. He can't attempt to like start his own firm and expect to be successful.
I think law. To be honest, I do say something that
Mhm.
even if AI takes all the jobs, it will not take long because who
Law
is
is
going to
safe.
judge the AI itself? So I think
Exactly.
there are some jobs that even AI cannot take over in the entirety, even from an hypothetical or
Yeah.
perspective. You would know that okay, this kind of job cannot be taken over by AI in its
Yeah.
entirety. Well, as you said, I think the way the narrative is shifting is quite
Yeah.
very, very scary.
Yeah.
And I personally, I'm not the opinion of the person that I'm not the of the opinion that AI cannot take my job. AI will take my job, and I will return to the farms.
Actually, just to put a little calm out there, like talking about AI taking the job, right? It is not exactly that direct as people like put
Yeah,
it or
people
make it
put it
seem like,
exactly.
right? Taking the job might just be like you adapting to a new way of doing your job,
That's one way.
right?
And let
Yeah.
me give you this specific scenario. There was this meme that I saw. I think
Okay.
it's been 4 years or so that I saw the meme, and
Mm-hmm.
it actually explains what we are facing on. It shows a movie that was being acted in the late 90s,
Okay.
and there they wanted to shoot over a mountain.
Okay.
So they want to shoot from above.
In the 90s.
Exactly in the 90s.
Wow.
So we had a cameraman
Okay.
carrying the camera. We
Okay.
had a pilot driving the helicopter, and then we have one other supporter. I can't remember what exactly it was doing. Probably was adjusting something. I can't remember. But that's a three-man job. So and you have a pilot, a cameraman, and a supporter. So that's three jobs. But nowadays, what do you need? A drone and a person to drive the drone.
Yeah.
Definitely. So we can look at the narrative from that perspective that if you are that cameraman or you are that pilot, you
Yeah.
don't know how to drive a drone, or you are that cameraman, you do not develop yourself to be able to drive a drone, then you are going to get relegated.
Exactly.
So I think if we as
Yeah.
software engineers or as AI enthusiasts or as software developers or as whatever job you are doing, you do not upgrade yourself to be able to use those technologies
Technologies
to
around.
fast track and increase your productivity, then you are going to get relegated. So I think
Yeah. And just to
that's
like
my own
add a
take.
bit on that, I do believe that like we as humans, like, it is very important to for us to like understand the fact that life is about getting value for your value.
Exactly.
um like
Exactly.
you have to show me something, you have to be of
Show me
value to me for me to like give you that value you want,
that you
which
want,
in
whether
turn
it
is
is
like
monetary
money.
or
Yeah,
exactly.
so like I do believe that we need to like seriously understand that like you can't expect
Yes.
to just like do one thing, not improving, not evolving as the profession itself evolves, and expect to like not be relegated. And also like we can see that with organizations.
Definitely.
Like we can see that with a lot of
Definitely.
organizations, like organizations that happens to be like complacent and they suffer the consequences. So like I do believe that yeah, you're on the right track with that.
Okay, so that's a very interesting thing regarding AI. So be rest assured, AI will take your job,
Yeah.
and don't be rest assured, AI will take your job. So you have to find
Exactly.
your own personal middle ground in that. Okay, so let's go to it. I know you are a very you are a good fan of politics and law and things like
No.
that's your if not engineer, I'm sure that's what you'll be doing at the moment. So
Yeah.
I remember those days when we come together, we talk about different political realms, the misogyny period in China, the
I
Winston
mean, like
Churchill,
those are very
the
interesting times.
misogyny, and different things like that, and the whole thing. So let's now look together into the current situation of the. I don't know if you are updated regarding the
Okay.
world happenings at the moment.
Yeah.
So
Talking about
what's your take?
updated, I am far from updated.
Wow,
Yeah.
what has
Like
been hectic?
work has been hectic. We all know that tech is blood money. So yeah, work has been hectic. That's no excuse for not being current, like in
Definitely.
happenings, because like this actually involves like human lives, and we owe the basic decency to at least know exactly why and what's going on, to be aware of the fact. So I'm going to take a beating for that. But just like just to be politically correct, I won't pick sides. I won't say this country is right. We won't go
Definitely, it's a
deep.
war.
Yeah, it's a war. Humans are involved. Human lives are involved. People are dying both left and right. So and like we need to like sincerely show our sympathies to like both parties, and at least find ways in which we can help support their pains, because I'm not sure like the governments all over the world looking um, are really like looking at people um, more than just figures on paper, which
That's
is
actually very true.
yeah, which is very very depressing because
Actually, I'll be honest. I think that's the way it's been since the
yeah,
human evolution, and
yeah,
we've have series of occurrences and occasions that we just be like, are leaders actually humans? Do they have that conscience? Do they have that heart to think that, oh, this is actually causing a lot of trouble for